Hi friends, Brenda here from the Pop-Up Homestead. This is video number 4 in the series of my cooking series. And today we're going to be talking about fresh eggs. How to cook eggs, how to preserve eggs, and the benefits of eggs. So fresh eggs, as many of you know, are a great source of protein. And keeping eggs fresh comes in many different forms. But first and foremost, you have to know how to check if an egg is fresh. So you can take a fresh egg, and when you spin it, see how it wobbles? See, it's a pretty nice spin, right? Pretty good. All right, I'm gonna take one of these fresh eggs that I just collected this morning out of the chicken coop. We're gonna do the same thing. And no, I'm not just a bad egg spinner. See how it doesn't really spin? It kind of wobbles. And again, I'll show you the eggs in the bowl. Nice spin. That's because these are hard-boiled eggs. So hard-boiled eggs will spin nice. Fresh eggs will not. Now, so that's how you tell if the eggs are fresh or hard-boiled, if you have eggs in your fridge and you're not sure. If you're not sure how old an egg is, which fresh eggs, fresh eggs that haven't been washed, which means the outside of the egg hasn't been cleaned or scrubbed at all. There's a bloom on the outside of an egg, and if that is left intact, fresh eggs will last 8 weeks without refrigeration. If you wash the bloom off, which a lot of people do because the eggs get dirty and poopy and whatnot, then the eggs won't last as long, and it's probably better to keep them in the fridge. So 8 weeks without refrigeration if they're not washed. You can wash them before you use them. But if your eggs are getting older and you're not sure if they're fresh or not, you can take your fresh egg and you drop it into a bowl of water, and if the egg sits flat at the bottom, the egg is fresh. The older the egg gets, the more it'll stand up, and then eventually when the egg floats, the egg is bad. So that's how you know for certain if an egg is bad without cracking it. If the egg floats, it's a bad egg. If it starts to stand up a little bit, then the egg's getting older. If it lays flat on the bottom of the water, then it's fresh. So, kind of interesting. Good to know. Good to know a little tip there. The other thing that's pretty interesting about fresh eggs is that they come in all different colors, as you can see here. So the white eggs are predominantly laid by, in our flock anyhow, they're laid by a chicken called a white leghorn. White leghorn are used in commercial production, so when you buy eggs from the grocery store, you're getting them from a white leghorn most of the time. Brown eggs in commercial production are usually the breed of chickens is Rhode Island Red, because they're high production. We have a lot of Rhode Island Red, but we also have Buff Orpingtons and Wells Summers and all different kinds. But they lay the brown eggs anywhere from light brown to dark brown. And then we have the blue-green eggs, which are laid by Easter eggers or Americanas. So these eggs are just kind of different, cool. They're all the same inside. They all taste the same. It's literally different breeds lay different color eggs. We only feed our chickens organic feed so that we know everything that they eat is as clean as possible. So we're giving ourselves the best possible chance for clean, healthy food. Hard-boiled eggs, I can keep these in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. It's nice to have hard-boiled eggs made up in the fridge. So if you want a quick snack, you can just peel an egg and eat it. If you're going on a road trip, you can take a couple eggs with you. If you want to make up some egg salad or chop an egg up into a salad. Very versatile, good to keep in the fridge. So, with that said, let's talk a little bit about how to cook eggs. So, fresh eggs. First, let's talk about frying fresh eggs. I don't know how many people have done it. I would say it's probably a pretty common thing. But here's what you do. Eggs to cook in a frying pan, you cook them low and slow. Take a frying pan, right? Take a frying pan. These were hanging on the wall. Put a little dab of butter in it. Put the frying pan on high. And wait until the butter melts. When the butter melts, Ooh, hopefully I don't drop that on my head. That's a big pan. I turn the frying pan to low so that it cools off a little bit, enough to heat the butter and to get the pan hot. Then I crack my eggs in it. I want the eggs to be sizzling, but not cook too fast. So you want your eggs to cook low and slow. So hot initially, get the pan hot, and then turn it to low. And the eggs will slowly cook, whether you're making over easy eggs, which is where you keep the yolk intact and you flip the egg completely, and hopefully you don't break the yolk. That is over easy, or scrambled, which is where you scramble them up in a bowl or in the frying pan ahead of time, while they're cooking. And then you take them to the desired consistency. Some people like them glossy. Some people like them, very well done. So everyone's a little different. But low and slow for fried eggs, very important. If you want to make poached eggs, not something that you see as often anymore, but poached eggs. Oh, she's playing with a toy. I had to see what she was doing. Sorry, my puppy was back there, distracted me a little. For poached eggs, you're going to take a frying pan, you're going to fill it halfway up with water. Bring the water to a boil, and then you crack a raw egg into the boiling water, and the egg cooks in the boiling water. You could do it in a saucepan. It doesn't have to be a frying pan, but the water heats up faster in a frying pan just because it's more shallow. So boiling water, crack the egg in there, cook it on one side until it looks done, flip it over to the other side, and then pull it out. Just know, if your eggs aren't done out of the way, it's not going to hurt you. You can eat raw eggs. They're not going to hurt you. It's ideal to cook them. Sometimes it creeps people out a little bit if they're a little too runny. But personally, I like my eggs soft. I like them under-processed instead of over-processed. But that's a poached egg. If you have questions on that, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments below. Hard-boiled eggs. Here's a big one that a lot of people have concern with. When you have chickens, even if you buy them from a farmer, fresh chicken eggs, not from the grocery store, when you hard boil them, sometimes they're a real bear to peel. So we have a secret. When we're boiling our eggs and we put the eggs in the pot with the water, we add about a 1/4 cup of vinegar. So it can be apple cider vinegar or white vinegar, but you're going to put vinegar in the water while the eggs boil. To make hard-boiled eggs, you do 10 minutes. 10 minutes of a hard boil, and then shut the burner off. I let them sit for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then I put them in the sink and run cold water over them. That's how you cook hard-boiled eggs. Some people do it a little longer, some people do it not quite as long, but that's what works for us. Couple other things you can do with fresh eggs. Eggs are great as a quick protein snack to take as you're running out the door. So you can take a muffin tin, line it with little liners. I would get the oven safe liners. Obviously, most muffin tins are oven safe. You can scramble up some eggs in a bowl with some peppers and onions, maybe some diced up lunch meat, ham, chicken, beef, whatever you like, a little bit of shredded cheese. Scramble it all up in a bowl and pour it into the muffin tins about halfway up. Bake it in the oven on 350 until they puff up and they seem done, probably 15 to 20 minutes depending on your oven. Then you can keep those in the freezer, and those will be quick little mini egg omelets that you can run out the door with, and you'll have cooked eggs that you can eat. You can throw them in the toaster oven in the morning. You can keep 2 or 3 of them wrapped in some tin foil. Pull them out, put them in the toaster oven, warm them up while you're getting ready, and then when you walk out the door to go to work or to go hunting or to go whatever you're doing for your day, you pull those out of the toaster oven and you have a little package of little egg quiches, basically, that you can take with you and eat as you want, that are nice and warm and filling. So another way to make a quiche is to just, fill scrambled eggs with broccoli, cauliflower, cheese, ham, whatever you might want, and fill a pie pan. and you can bake it in the oven. And that's another way that you can cook eggs and make a modified quiche out of it. Something else I like to do with eggs is banana pancakes. Let that thing sink in for a minute. Banana pancakes. So what do? I take one banana, very ripe, smash it up into a bowl with a fork, 2 eggs, scramble them all together. Sometimes I add a little vanilla. You can add vanilla extract, but you don't need to. 1 banana, 2 eggs, scramble it all together. Get a hot frying pan with a little butter. Get it good and hot, just like you would if you were making pancakes. You'd never want to put it into a cold frying pan. So a hot frying pan. Pour it on there just like you would pancake batter, and it will make literally nice little pancakes. When you see the outside get a little dry, you're going to go under it and scoop it and flip it, and you'll be making flourless pancakes that are delicious. I've eaten many of them, and it's just banana and egg and a little maple syrup. Fabulous. Be one of your favorite way to eat bananas and eggs. I had never thought it would be good until I did it, and whew, is it ever good. Okay, so next, preserving eggs. There's a lot of different ways to preserve eggs. Some people will dehydrate them, other people will freeze them. My preferred method, some people do, what do they call that? Glass something, where they water glass them. I think it's called water glassing. I've never done that. I'm not excited about it. Maybe I'm wrong. If you've done it in the comments, please tell me below what your thoughts are on it. My preferred way to preserve eggs when I have extra eggs is to pickle them. So I just save these big jars, and you can take hard-boiled eggs and you can put them in any type of brine. Pickle brine, right? So the simplest way is to just take hard-boiled eggs, load up the jar with hard-boiled eggs, and fill it with vinegar. White vinegar or apple cider vinegar, 100% vinegar, and they are going to be shelf stable. You don't have to believe me. You can do your own research on it. You can keep them in the fridge if it makes you feel better. But if the eggs are in 100% vinegar, then you can most definitely keep them on the shelf. Don't take my word for it. I'm not a food scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you, if your refrigerator goes out, don't throw away the pickled eggs. These pickled eggs, obviously they taste better with flavor. So I have done pickled eggs where it's just vinegar and I did a little salt and pepper, not much else, and I'll chop those up and add those to my dog's food so that I have a little food additive for my dogs. These are dill pickle eggs. So I put a couple heads of dill pickle in here, and I also put big cloves of garlic. So if you like dill pickles, you'll love these. These are really good. So these are dill pickle eggs. Basically, I follow the same recipe I would if I was making dill pickles to make the brine, and then I just pour them over the hard-boiled eggs. I keep these in the fridge just because we like them cold. These are beet eggs. These are delicious. Now these are not shelf stable unless you do them different than I'm going to tell you. So basically, when I make beet eggs, I chop up a few beets, boil them in a pan with water, and then I use the water from the beets and I do a 50-50 mix. So I do it's okay, baby. I do 50% water and 50% beet juice. No, 50% vinegar, 50% beet juice. Then I put in some cinnamon sticks, some cloves. You can put in a little bit of sugar. And then I put the beets right in here, as well as some chopped onions and the eggs, obviously. And they are delicious. They have a great flavor, but because they have a lot of water in them and they're not completely all vinegar, they do need refrigeration. So if you were to can them, you wouldn't have to do that, but seeing as how these are not canned, they're just in the fridge, and I've had them for well over a year. I keep them in there but use your own judgment on that. Another pickled egg that's really good is a mustard egg. So look that up. You'll really enjoy mustard eggs. I have frozen eggs before, and I didn't have great results. I was thinking about dehydrating eggs, but it just, I don't know. It's not really something that I'm excited about. I have taken eggs and broke 2 or 3 of them into like a Ziploc baggie, scrambled them together, and froze them. And then you can add those to recipes like banana bread and stuff. So, anyhow, that's how I preserve them. This is what we do with them on a daily basis. Each family member, if you're thinking about getting chickens, each family member should have at least 2 chickens. So if you think about how many people are in your family, that's a good judge of how many chickens to have. So with chicken math, it doesn't always work out. I mean, we have 2 people in our family and 3 dogs, and we have 30 chickens. So we tend to use all the eggs that we get, but we feed them to our dogs to supplement their meal. And we eat eggs almost every day. That's one of our main sources of protein. So if you have any questions that I didn't answer on eggs, please feel free and ask me a question in the comments below. But in the meantime, this is Brenda from the Pop-Up Homestead. I hope I answered all your questions on eggs. And yeah, eggs. The best food ever. I think everyone should have at least a couple chickens and be getting fresh eggs. That is ultimate survival food. And I know if you live in an apartment, it's not always that easy, but you can have quail. Quail are small, like parakeets, and can be kept in apartments, and they will give you small eggs. You can also have guineas if you live in the country and you want them to free range. Guineas will also lay eggs. Maybe not in the coop the way they're supposed to. You might have to do a little bit of an Easter egg hunt on them, but yeah, ducks. Ducks give you nice big eggs. That's another source of poultry that gives you great eggs. So yeah, I'd love to hear your feedback and comments on this video. And until next time, this is Brenda from the Pop-Up Homestead. Talk to you later.